Are you curious about ad optimization? You're not sure when to tweak, when to turn off the ad, when to increase your budget, how often? Today I'm breaking down my go-to workflow and revealing the decision-making magic behind my successful ad account management. So before I make any decision, I dive deep into the data. Each of my clients has a primary KPI, whether it's ROAS in the ad account, whether it's ROAS in Norbeam, whether it's MER, whether it's contribution margin. This number is not just a metric, it's my North Star, and I'm determined to hit it every time. Before we dive into the ad account optimization, I take a look at revenue, MER and ROAS for the previous day. For all of my Australian clients, I also review today's data because due to the time zone difference, I have fresh data available already by the time I wake up. I first review my daily reporting sheet to analyze the key metrics: CPM, click-through rate, AOV and conversion rate. All of them are color-coded according to the performance, which allows me to quickly identify improvements and main bottlenecks. These sheets also help me spot weekly and monthly trends because all of that data is pulled up into weekly report where I can see, hey, so what's happening with CPM? CPM went up, okay, but our click rate also went up, so our CPC is not that down. Impact on the ROAS did not change. Actually, it was better because we are paying less for the click. After I check the data, I check the ad account and third-party tracking software if the client uses it. While some clients see third-party tracking software as a noise, I find it helpful in several ways. It helps me identify NCOS, which is often the main KPI for my clients. I use this metric for optimization because even with the full media buyers exclusion from both Pixel and Klaviyo, ads can still be shown to existing customers. So by comparing ROAS and NCOS, I can make more informed decisions. Another useful feature of third-party tracking software that I often use is percentage of new visits. This metric helps me determine how effectively an ad is doing the retargeting. So for example, even if you include full buyers, website visitors and Facebook, Instagram engagers as exclusions, and you have an image ad with the offer discount, it would be primarily served to the retargeting audience. Explaining this to a client can often be challenging, but when you show them percentage of new visits, which is pretty much low, and high frequency of that ad, you can demonstrate how the creative is effectively targeting the right audience, because it's hard to expect that ad to resonate with the prospecting. I should also note that I'm not day trading with the ad account. I avoid making multiple adjustments daily, as it overwhelms both the ad account and me as a media buyer, because it doesn't give you any positive returns. The only thing that I would day trade in the ad account is on periods like Black Friday when Facebook can sustain that budget increase because conversion rate is higher. When it comes to optimization, the period that I consider often depends on the AOV. If the AOV is over 300, I would focus on the last 7 days of data. Otherwise, my preferred time frame is today plus last 4 to 5 days. This approach provides me a balanced mix of historic data and the recent performance. To check the performance for a specific period, in the ad account you can use this chart feature, which goes here, and then you can select the different data, and basically it tells you how performance was happening over the specific period. Obviously, if you're optimizing, you're gonna select last 7 days or something like that. But it's a good enough indicator to see how performance is spacing through the different period. As I said, this tool is specifically helpful for analyzing performance shift, especially if you adjusted budget multiple times during that period, then you can check like, okay, if I increased the budget, how it affected my CPA. But it's important to mention, even if my Facebook performance is good and MER is bad, if the MER is main KPI, I would not increase the budget. You must always prioritize your main KPI, as that's ultimately where you are making money. Regarding budgets, I should address how often and in what increments I adjust them. This really depends on how aggressively I want to scale and what the current budget of the ad set is. If your budget is just $10 or $20, increasing it by 20% every 2 days would not lead to any significant scaling. I usually start all of my ad sets at 100. After 3 days of good performance, I can easily increase the budget to 150, then 225 or 250 after another 2 days. I don't follow a strict rule of percentage for budget increase. Obviously, I cannot jump from $500 to 1K, but I can easily increase from 50 to 100. Many of you might worry now about resetting the learning phase, but honestly, I prioritize performance. The learning phase doesn't always correlate with improved results, and exiting would not magically boost your performance and drop your CPA from 70 to 25. Also, it's important to mention I'm not a fan of duplicating the ad sets to scale. That's such a 2018 tactic. I prefer stability over rapid scaling. But I do use surf scaling, as I said, during the major period of sales when I expect great performance. When basing decision on Facebook data, I can easily incorporate automatic rules. But if I'm relying on triple whale, Norbeam, or click-only ROAS, I have to proceed doing that manually because I cannot trigger the rules based on third-party tracking data. For most clients, we notice that performance is slightly better on a weekend compared to the weekdays. So to maximize efficiency during P2 periods, there are two ways I can recommend. One is scaling in advance. Basically on Friday evening or Saturday morning, I increase budgets on the best performing ad sets because I anticipate strong weekend performance. I usually raise them by 20 to 50%. Then on Monday morning, I reduce budget regardless of how well they perform over the weekend. Because the thing is, Monday performance is gonna mostly be trash. Other approach, which is my preferred approach, is Advantage Plus with a cost cap. Because I run a high inflated budget on my cost cap with my winning ads and cost cap that I'm comfortable with. This allows me to set a higher budget because I know there's a low risk of poor performance because I imported only winning ads. So before the weekend, I might increase a bit more, enabling Facebook to spend more because I expect great conversion rate. This strategy is safer and allows me to significant weekend scaling, often increasing budget by 100% compared to the weekday, while maintaining the same CPA. Now we cover budgets, so let's go and discuss the ads on the ad level. The cost cap gangs that are using all of their ad account on cost cap believes you should never turn off an ad. But I audited multiples of their ad accounts and performance was terrible. Like I'm talking about 0.3, 0.6 ROAS, even if you check like 7 days, 30 days or lifetime, and these ads remain active. It's just mind-blowing that these guys would not turn off the ad. Obviously, I would turn off the ad that's below the target, but there's some caveat. While I agree that the spend is always an indicator and that the Facebook determines whether the ad can handle the scale, if the performance is disastrous, there's no way to keep the ad active. Obviously, that depends. If I see that my overall results are decent, but this ad is just like 10-20% below the target, I would keep it. Also, if I see that ad is doing really top of the funnel by very low frequency, then I would keep it, but again, if my blended is good. But if my results are declining and I need to reduce the overall budget, I'll be more aggressive in turning off the ads and decreasing the budgets. A few strategies that often help me restore performance when performance is going down. Number one is handbrake. This is pulling back the budget to the level where you can hit the target ROAS again. Let's say you scale it from 200 to 300 then to 500, but then it's bad. I would probably pull back it to 300 and instead of just turning it off right away. The other thing is resurrection. This strategy works when the ad set has substantial spend in previous period and once it has a great ROAS, but recent performance is going down. It makes no sense to keep that ad running with a high budget, or it makes no sense to turn that off because that ad is a proven winner. Instead of I turn it off and I duplicate it and turn it on to kind of like give it a fresh start, and it's 70% performance picks up. And why it picks up? Because it's already a proven combination of the audience and the ad. There you have it, guys. That's how I'm optimizing the ad account. But there are obviously some finer details. These are the essentials that you should not miss. So if you're an ecom brand spending at least $50K a month on Facebook ads and want me to supercharge your ad account, apply for a free audit below to see how we can scale it effectively. See you.